Okay, 1300 Sigma. Let's see how this one goes.
Observe the barrier.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Forward, my friends. Enemy turret ahead. Back to me.
I'd have preferred you swung right around the statue and shot from that side, but we'll deal. We'll deal. You can. This is more legit with Ryan than it is with other op tanks. Okay, so you probably didn't catch this, but let's get this. Anna is up over there. You are perfect for dealing with Anna. Now that your team has taken this space, there's a couple things you can do. The first of which is from where you are, let's get our pen here. You can just say, hey, I'm going to shoot at Anna. Great. Anna's going to back off if you hit her with 1 or 2 bullets. The other option is Reinhardt can handle the shield in front of you. He's, a tank. He has his nice big right click there that he can shield with, or he can swing, and you'll be fine. But this team is going to be in for a world of hurt. If you project your shield up here to block her out, it'll be at a bit of an angle. So like that, she's going to have a very hard time healing her team if you take a step forward and then throw a shield in her face, and she's Anna. She's not going to destroy your shield in any meaningful way. So you effectively get to fight this team here without their Anna healing them, and with their Reinhardt on the way back from spawn. Like it's over. Like you've won. So you should do that. You want to be thinking, hey, how do I check off angles as Sigma? You should sort of think of Sigma as like off angles are what he does. He messes up opponents that have off angles by shooting at them, by throwing shields in their faces, by putting shields on a second angle to protect his team, or he goes and takes off angles himself. Like that's what I was saying earlier, was if you'd swung around statue but your team was really playing too fast for what I was describing. If Ryan had come in like this and you'd come over here with your shield, you could be throwing stuff while Ryan swings, and that's a better angle, etc. But that's fine. Let's go back. That's just something that could have been better. Oh, come on. Right, gotta be on mouse mode first. There's stuff behind you. Yeah. You're naded because there's stuff behind you. And there's a torb to your left, it sounds like. Yeah. So in general, you would let Reinhardt deal with the threat that's sort of in front of you, and you would deal with the thing to the side. Now that Reinhardt's dead, yeah, okay, fine. You'll deal with the thing in front and just hope that your team deals with the thing on the side. I'd have preferred you slide left. Okay, this is fine. Okay, use it. Okay, so again, this time Ryan was alive and there was a Torb wandering around to your right. You can let Ryan deal with the front threat in one direction while you deal with the other. Instead, this Torb did a little too much work.
That music, it's playing again.
Okay, so you should just look to use your ult here to win things. 4.5 v5, it's acceptable to win with your ult here. Now you ult to win. Or not. Or we can just... Okay. So I'm sure you felt how painful that was, where you had you know, the threat over there from Torb, and you had all them from the other direction, and it was hard because you didn't know which way to look. And again, that's your job to handle the off angle while your team handles a main angle if you have two shields like this.
Enemy turret destroyed. That means
Party on the objective.
it's playing again.
Objective A captured. Escort the
Okay,
payload.
that works. This is a bad riptire.
Come out and face me. I'm escorting the payload.
They used lamp for it, so ideally your whole team is going to push up except one person, and you're going to ult and kill them while lamp is down, and your team will be the follow-up. But they can't do that if you're back here on cart.
Activating the barrier.
And now by the time the fight starts, they'll have lamp back, and you won't be able to just ult and win it.
Enemy turret sighted.
Well, the good news is you got a big shield. The bad news is your team is dead.
Enemy turret ahead.
So ideally, you're communicating to your team how you want to use your ult in this next fight. Okay, so this is fine if you want to block out this side while your team goes and deals with the Reinhardt that's separated. That would be muy bueno. So you can throw down your shift to absorb some. You can throw down your right click. You have good tools for this. Okay, so now they've dealt with the Reinhardt, and now your off-angle threat has shifted. Now, instead of your team dealing with Rein while you deal with Core, your team is going to go deal with Core, and what I want you to do is shoot up here at Ashe. I want you to be going up. Let them deal with this. I'll shoot up at Ashe. Maybe I'll throw the shield up in Ashe as well. Well, okay, it's not that sort of shield. It's a little more rounded. Also, whatever. I'll throw the shield up in Ashe's way, drive her back, etc. Same thing we were talking about earlier with Deanna. You kind of get in her way and interrupt her off angles. No. Yeah, she's just farming your team, and you haven't even looked at her yet.
Tactical visor activated.
Now you should do the same thing with the turret, and then you should deal with the thing behind you. Okay.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Oh, this is my jam.
Rock. Remember how I said there was something? Okay, there we go. So if there is something behind you and your Rein is dealing with the front, you can flip around and deal with the back. You have the second shield, you have that, and you have the poke to force them out and make them go away, either kill them or make them break line of sight to go find health packs, etc., which is fine because then you get to turn again and take the 6v3, 6v4, etc. in front of you while they're finding health packs.
Like the impression of a dying star.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Pump up the volume.
The payload moves in accordance.
So again, you have your ult. You should be communicating how you want to use your ult in this next fight and making your team aware that you're going to use it. Yep. So you can throw your shield up, not all the way, don't break the plane, but okay, now this is fine. Yeah, you just didn't aim quite high enough there, but
Let's
keep it moving. It's playing again.
Ooh. Let's get you healed up.
throw your shield out, help them, good.
Heroes never die.
I don't love your shield there, but I can live with it.
Now, oh, let's break it.
Good on you to throw your shield past the window so that the damage into it wasn't amped. I don't like where you're standing now, and you'll see you just took damage from a direction that wasn't Bob, and that should be telling you something. So if we go here, I need this one actually. If you go here, you can see that the enemies can shoot at you. McCree can see you from there, as can, who is that, Baby Diva. They can see you from there and they can shoot at you, and Bob can shoot at you. Well, McCree and Baby Diva don't have the greatest line of sight on your soldier because he sort of has a pillar in the way, and same thing with Junkrat there. So you're really the only great target that they have, and there's no reason that you have to be a good target for them. If you instead adjust and stand back here, you can still have your shield up to protect you from Bob, or you can still preserve your shield and just let Bob shoot at you. You can keep beating Bob in the face with your left clicks, but they can't shoot you because there's this wall in the way. So you want to close this angle. That's what we call that when you go, oh, you know, the angle's open right now where they can see you. And if you go, okay, now I'm back here, I've closed this angle where you can't see them and they can't see you. And you don't care about being able to see them yet because you're wanting to throw damage into Bob. So if that's the case, you can only shoot at one of them at a time. Might as well close the angle so that they can't be shooting at you. Yeah, and they definitely couldn't pin you if you were around the corner. I wanted you to use your ult earlier in the fight, but we'll take it. Yeah, unfortunate.
No, that wasn't right at all.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Push up. Your tire's going. You want to push up. He pulled it a little early, but you want to be pushing up, be putting pressure on them so that they can't focus on the tire. You're supporting the tire's supporting you. Little slow to swap to the lamp there, but that's okay. Okay, so it's good that you got it this time, but do be aware, oh, that's the one I want, that you went this way to shield from it and your team went the other way, so you are about to be under a lot of pressure because the opponents are very likely to go, oh, what is that, Tracer? So many new costumes these days. The Tracer is likely to come in after you, the Diva is likely to turn and deal with you, the Ana has a line of sight on you and her allies without your opponents having a line of sight on her, and Bap will open the angle and have a line of sight on you. So you're about to be in a lot of trouble, danger, etc., and you didn't get that much bonus health, etc. So you need to go, okay, how do I get back to my team? That's kind of what you're thinking here. How do you get back to your team, or what can you use as cover, etc.? Let's go back here. Probably throw your shield up, even with 200 HP. Like I said, it's hot right now. Okay, use the card as cover, that's good. And then back up to join your team a little. Until you've got some resources. Now you have some shield resources. Okay, fine. Okay, but you're coming back with ult, so if you can make it back, maybe there's a chance.
That music, it's playing again.
Overtime.
You're in this fight. That makes it harder, but if you immediately ult, You didn't go deep enough with your ult. It would have actually been better to throw them all up in the air. McCree still would have been killable. Oh, when you walked closer, so McCree flashed you. That's unfortunate. Okay, so you could have driven your ult better there to more better value, and that wouldn't necessarily have won you the round, but it would have meaningfully kept you in the round. Like, if you get a successful ult there, it's a coin toss, whereas if you don't get the ult, you don't get a kill off the ult, you bugger it up, it's just over as it was.
Ready for battle.
Okay, so now instead of a Reinhardt, it looks like you have a Roadhog, and he's on an off angle. So you're going to provide the shield for the main angle for your team, and he's going to threaten from off angles while they're paying attention to you. Just make sure if they instead pay attention to him that you're, hitting your shots, supporting him. You get the idea. That's not your fault, but I would recharge your shield. Okay, you don't want to back off too hard, because you want to make sure you're... Okay. You don't want to back off too hard because you don't want your hog to get pressed while you're not paying attention, but that's okay.
Barrier is about to break.
Okay, so that was a panic double defensive use there. The Torb is just getting you guys into trouble. Yep, you can shield dance this while you fight the D.Va. Shield dance, shield dance!
Haven't we done this before?
Doomfist here.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Throw the shield forward, turn and deal with the Reinhardt. Too far. So that shield is just a little too deep. If you want to throw the shield, you want to technically stop it like right here-ish is what you'd want to do. They still might be able to see the little bit of the corner, and that's distracting to them, and Bap will still be able to shoot into it, but it makes it harder for Junkrat, makes it harder for Ana and D.Va, still protects you from the Bap, and it makes it clear that if the Reinhardt commits through, well, now his Ana can't see him, etc., etc. But what it also does is it continues to establish you as a threat, which means your Hog can round the corner and hook the Bap or the Rein, and then you can shoot them in the back, or you can shoot the lamp that goes up as a result of it, etc. But by pushing it forward like that, you're exposing your shield to take extra damage when that angle is already closed. So the angle's closed, Junkrat, Ana, and D.Va can't shoot you, but you're kind of opening the angle for your shield when the angle on you was closed. So you didn't need to give them a chance to shoot at something and get some value. Okay, now you hear there's a threat behind you. Yeah. Your team dealt with it, but hey. Again, your shield's too far up there. You don't have anyone that's taking advantage of that. But you are giving Ana, Junk, D.Va a chance to shoot at it. This one's different because your team's actually, you and your Lucio at least are using it to fight them. This ult is not going to get value. You're ulting tanks, and you're ulting tanks when your team isn't with you. Your DPS are not here. You had your Lucio and your Mercy as support, but your Ashe was still a good 2 seconds out.
Haven't we done this before?
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
It's our
You're AFKing. That's gonna hold you back. Like, you will lose games from AFKing because a team fight will happen, and it'll be a 6v5, and you'll lose it 95% of the time. And then beyond that, you'll get staggered because this is bronze and people aren't organized. Like, it's expensive to be AFK. Yeah, you're aiming for the lamp. Good. You hear the Rhine. You hear the Rhine.
Heroes never die.
Okay. You heard the Rhine use Fire Strike, and you didn't see any Fire Strike on the ground, which meant he was almost certainly to the left of you. So it would have been perfectly okay to have your shield in front, blocking off the main enemy team like that, and then you turn and look and see, oh, there is a Rhine there, and you start trying to ward off the Rhine with your left-click orbs, do some damage to him. It's perfectly fine to check one direction with your shield and the other direction with damage as best you can. And then once you've caused that direction to back off, you can deal with the first direction again, or you can recall your shield, close the angle because it'll need to recharge. You get the idea.
Payload is approaching its destination.
Haven't we done this before?
And do they finish it here? Yeah, they do.
Victory.
Okay, so that's fine. We could talk about your shift usage. We could talk about a couple other things, but I think what's going to be the most important is actually that off-angle understanding. So as Sigma, you need to be, when you have a second tank with a shield, so Reinhardt, Orisa, etc., you need to be thinking, okay, I am in charge of controlling the off-angle. And that means if there's a threat on high ground, you're shooting at it, you're potentially throwing your shield in its way. If there's a threat to your left while your Orisa or Rein is dealing with the front, you're going, oh, I can turn my shield to deal in that direction and I can check that direction. Or if you've got a hog or a ball partner or something like that where they're disrupting or they're threatening the off angle, in the case of hog, you're doing more of a, okay, I can shield the main angle while I check this threat to the left with damage if need be, or I close the angle so that I don't need my shield anymore. I close the angle so that that threat from the left can't do it and I only need to shield the one angle, and then maybe I recall my shield and deploy it again closer. So think about checking the off angles as Sigma is going to be your biggest thing. If you want to get beyond that, you'll start thinking about, hey, all these off angles that I'm checking are so powerful, and that's why I need to check them. Maybe I should start taking them myself. And Sigma's pretty good for that because you've got ranged poke damage as your main attack, and you've got a shield which lets you hold the off angles for meaningful points of time yourself if you want to start going and doing that. But yeah, that's what I've got for you. Hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to set up another session, you can reach out to me and we'll work out a price. Temporal out.